All right, welcome back, everyone. So for today's Monday asynchronous assignment, we're going to be doing a little review of just an overview of phase changes. So I'm going to go through a few slides here that are going to help you answer the questions in the Google form. However, if you would like to just read the slides, you do not need to listen to the video. If you'd like to read the information on the slides, you can also do that using the slide presentation linked here. So directions, we're going to read through these slides. I'm going to review a little bit of information, and then you're going to answer the questions in the Google form. So we've been talking a lot about phase changes, and we want to remember that phase changes are physical changes. So physical changes, this means that the substance stays the same, but it just changes into a different form. So we have the solid form, the liquid, and the gas form. So a phase is kind of like a form. So we got solid, liquid, gas. And we know that gases, I'll get my pen here. So gases have high kinetic energy, while solids have very low kinetic energy. So as we read this little diagram here, you notice that the arrow is pointing in this direction. So as you go from a solid to a gas, the energy is increasing. But if you go from a gas to a solid, that energy is going to be lower on this end. Same with motion, right? So we know that in the solid phase, these molecules don't move that much. In the liquid phase, they start to move a little bit more, but in the gas phase, they're moving the most. So we want to remember that these phases are also connected to how these particles or molecules are moving. And we've also been talking about this attraction, right? So molecular attraction is a big term that we've been talking about. So remember attraction. In the solid phase, we have really high molecular attraction. So solid phase, we have really high molecular attraction, and you can see that here. So with my purple arrow, the arrow is pointing to the left. So as I draw my little arrow here, oops, there we go. The arrow is pointing this way, which means that on this end, high molecular attraction. And then gases have very low molecular attraction. So things that want to live in the gas phase are going to have very low molecular attraction because these particles are going to want to move around, or molecules. So particles and molecules are one of the same. So these molecules move around more in the gas phase, so they have low attraction, and these solids have high attraction, so they don't move around as much. Let's go to the next slide here. Once I figure out how to, there we go. Okay, so we want to remember again, these molecules' motion, right, is connected to the phase that they're in. So in the solid phase, as you can see, they're all together. They kind of hold their shape. Liquid, they're moving a little bit more, but they still kind of stick towards the bottom here. So they form and they take the shape of the container. So that's in that liquid phase. And then in that gas phase, these molecules are moving a lot more as compared to the liquid, and they're all over the box here in the container, and they're just mostly floating around. So again, we just want to remember molecules' motions in each of these phases, and it takes a lot of energy, right, to make them move like this. So gases live in a high energy state, whereas solids are living in a lower energy state. So now I'm going to go ahead and read an article. And this article is going to help you answer the questions in the Google form as well. So if you don't need assistance on reading the article, you can pause the video now and read the article for yourself, or you can listen to me read the article out loud for you. So let's get started. So this article is going to be talking about physical changes that are phase changes. So physical changes involve the change in states of matter. The states of matter, sometimes called its phase, so the states of matter, sometimes called its phase, include solid, liquids, or gases. During a physical change, no new substance is created. The matter may take on a different form or state. The size, shape, and color of matter may also change. During a physical change, though, the molecules of a substance will stay the same. Crushing a can, breaking a glass, and chopping wood are all changes in the shape and size of an object. Stepping on a can and crushing it has forced a physical change. So, this is an example of a physical change here. However, only the shape of the can has changed. It wasn't a change in the state of matter because the energy in the can did not change, meaning it was not melted or turned into a gas. The molecules that make up the can are still the same molecules. Breaking the glass and chopping the wood have forced a physical change as well. When an ice cube is melted, a physical change takes place because the temperature changed. So, this idea of temperature. The air temperature was warm enough to change the ice cube from a solid to a liquid. Due to the changing temperature of the water, the boiling water was changed to a water vapor. Water vapor is also known as gas, or a liquid to a gas. So, it went from a liquid to a gas when we're boiling it. Freezing the water is also a physical change because the liquid, um, because the liquid water was changed into a solid ice. The change in the temperature caused the physical change. In all three examples, the change in temperature caused the physical change. The water molecules are still water molecules. So that's still water, but it's just in a different phase. Let's move on. A candle is made of wax, and the heat from a lit flame will cause a temperature change, which allows the wax to melt or change the phase from a solid to a liquid. The candle size is also smaller, and the shape will change too. Glass is formed by the hardening of a substance, changing a liquid to a solid, another phase change. The shape and color will also be a physical changes. Let's reread that. The shape and color will also be physical changes caused by the temperature change. When a person paints their house or fence, the paint being brushed onto the objects is a physical change because the color of the fence has changed. In each of these examples, an object's size, shape, or color was changed. All are examples of physical changes. Evaporation happens when atoms or molecules escape from a liquid and turn into a vapor. So atoms make up molecules. So evaporation happens when atoms or molecules escape from a liquid and turn into a vapor. Vapor is a gas. This is a physical change because the molecules of the matter change from a liquid to a gas. Evaporation can happen with any type of liquid. When temperatures are higher, a liquid may evaporate faster. Evaporation is a physical change. When two or more substances are joined together without the molecules changing, it is called a mixture. When different colors of candies are joined together, it is an example of a mixture. None of the molecules of the candy change, so this is also a physical change. Water and sand is also a mixture for the same reason. Other similar mixtures include salads, trail mix, and cereal with bananas. So mixtures, you can kind of see the different parts, right? So you have like marbles and water over here in this example. This is an example of a mixture because they didn't come. You can still see the different components of the mixture. But then we have solutions. Solutions are groups of molecules that are mixed together and evenly distributed in a substance. A pitcher of the fruit drink is an example because powder added to the water is spread out evenly throughout the water. Using syrup to make chocolate milk is also a solution. The molecules of the liquid and the drink mix are joined together to create the fruit drink or chocolate milk. A solution is also an example of a physical change. So salt and water kind of mix together. It dissolves in the water, so you won't be able to see the salt anymore. So they mix together, but it's still a physical change. So when something dissolves in something else, like salt or sugar, like putting sugar in in coffee, when they completely kind of dissolve into each other, that's a solution. All right. So, in summary, there are many different kinds of physical changes, which can include size, temperature, shape, color, and others. Two common types of physical changes are mixtures, when two types of molecules are joined together, and solutions, when the molecules are spread out evenly between two substances. So, we have two types of physical changes, we got mixtures and we got solutions. And we also want to remember that our phase changes like evaporation, condensation, freezing, and melting are all types of physical changes. So go ahead and answer the questions in the Google form and let me know if you have any questions.